Mike. Did Mac come through okay in the captain's run there?
Yeah, everybody's fit. Mac looking sprightly as ever, so he's gone well.
A heavily strapped calf, there's no negatives to that. He's all good to run freely, is he?
He's all good to run freely.
And James Ryan, we saw, is back with the squad. Can you give us an update on how he's doing?
Yeah, James doing really well. As you saw, Robbie Enshaw and James are obviously out there at training this morning, so they're progressing really nicely, so they'll be available for next week.
Last one on this. Did James have a procedure on his wrist, or what was the story there?
Yeah.
Question? At the back?
Finito.
Hi, Henri Ignacia from Canal Plus French TV. May I ask you a question in French, please? In French?
Yes, that's fine.
Une question pour les joueurs. Comment est-ce que vous abordez ce quart de finale en sachant que l'Irlande n'a jamais réussi à passer ce cap de la compétition?
It feels like it is a different group. It feels like quite a long time since the last one. There's obviously neither of us were there the last time. There's been a lot of experience over the last 3 or 4 years with this group. We've built a lot of confidence through those experiences, through some pretty big wins. New Zealand last year, New Zealand at home, South Africa. It's been quite a big journey with this group, and along that, through the coaches, through our plan, through the players' ability and our want to get better, there's a lot of belief that's been built in this last period. So we're drawing on that and not looking back too much further. I'm sure some of the more experienced older guys might take some things as well, going back even longer. But the last 3 or 4 years has been an unbelievable journey for us, and there's a lot of belief and confidence that have come from that.
Okay, gentleman over here.
That's right. Mike, in the whatever months since the series last year, what have you seen in the All Blacks' progression? And having done really well in attack against them last time, what kind of improvements have they made in defence, and what sort of a challenge is it for you guys to break them down on Saturday?
Well, I think what we've seen is the good All Blacks of old, really, of New Zealand of old. They exceptionally dangerous ball in hand. I think Joe's definitely brought a physicality at the breakdown and their ball carrying. Obviously, it was something that Joe was massively passionate about with Ireland as well. So. Especially in the wide breakdowns, Ricky Aoni, these guys are big guys, and they put a lot of pressure in those areas. So it's making sure that we match them physically, but being technically good on the same breath. But across the board, they've got a hell of a lot of experience, even coming off the bench. Sam Whitelock, these guys that have got hundreds of caps really. So they're very experienced side, and they know exactly what they need to do to win these big occasions. So it's going to be a great test match, and we're looking forward to it, obviously.
Okay, gentleman here on the left.
Dan, how are things? Just a follow-up to the question that I think Caelan was asked. Because you, like the two of you guys haven't been there in 2019, is there a fearlessness that comes with that you haven't had maybe the baggage that other guys have had?
Yeah, I think it's, as Caelan said, it's a completely new squad. Our mindset is different. I think, I obviously have no experience of earlier squads, but that probably the more experienced lads have shared their thoughts on it. But I think it's just, you treat it like another game. It's knockout rugby, but I think you can build these games up as much as you want, but it can end up affecting you if you give it too much attention. We need to stick to our preparation. We've been doing it for the last 3 years pretty consistently at a good level. So I think in my head and in most of the squad's head, it's going to be pretty much same old test rugby. You're in an Irish jersey, you go out and perform.
Mike, you're a World Cup winner and you're a World Cup runner-up. Is there anything, and you're the skills coach here, is there anything specific about the Ireland backs that you've noticed is different as a unit? Or maybe it's that Mac Hansen has got more speed than anybody else we've ever seen before. Do we have, for instance, is it our catching ability, our innate GAA-ness, or is there spatial awareness? Could you just tell us what's different about, I'm specifically talking about our three-quarters and our fullback?
Well, just good rugby players ultimately. They love the game. But I think what we've shown over the past 3-4 years is the togetherness of the backs, and the forwards as a team really. our togetherness is huge, and we fully understand what we're trying to achieve. The players fully understand what they need to achieve or want to achieve, and now it's up to them to go out and perform and make sure that happens. But all different types of backgrounds, Gaelic, whether it's Aussie rules for a Mac or something like that. But ultimately, they're nice and calm, and the decision making has been very, very good recently. So that's what we sort of base it on, is being calm enough to make the right decisions, and the skill becomes easy.
Okay, TVNZ at the back here.
Mike up the back in the cheap
the back.
seats. Did you guys have a team photographer at the All Blacks training run yesterday? If so, is that something you normally do?
You'd have to. Sorry, I wasn't part of that. So.
But it was
Did
open.
we?
So, it was open, so I assume you're allowed for the first 15 minutes like anybody.
I don't know.
Yeah, yes, the rules say yes. As long as they're standing with the rest of the photographers as a non-right sort of photographer, they can.
So you did have someone there or not?
No, I don't know.
You don't know?
Don't know.
Okay.
The
Oh,
agency could have been there working.
just quickly, Mark Talia dropped for the game through disciplinary reasons. How surprised are you by that? Is that something this Irish team would do as well?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't know any detail on the back of that. So obviously they've got certain protocols in place the players need to adhere to, and they've done it accordingly. So it'd be wrong of me to say anything about it without actually knowing anything about it. So that's their choice.
Okay, Christian at the front here.
Caelan, I'll come to you in this one. Just about the sense of occasion in those minutes pre-match tomorrow that we know is going to happen. It's different tomorrow is that we'll have the haka. Have you planned anything in terms of how you're going to receive that challenge as a team? And just second part of that, just tell us what it is like in those moments playing New Zealand before kick-off when you do face the haka. What's going through your mind?
Yeah, there'll be excitement, there'll be a lot of nerves. Usually for me anyway, the nerves are kind of probably peak a couple of hours out, and as we get to the change room, get out onto the pitch for the warm-up, it kind of dissipates a little bit. But yeah, in the few minutes there'll be nerves, there'll be excitement, there'll be kind of an eagerness to get stuck in. In terms of the haka, we'll probably do what we've done quite a bit in terms of the 10-metre line and maybe flirting with that a little bit. But no, looking forward to it big time.
Okay, question here.
Mike, Caelan spoke about the journey this side have been on over the last 3 or 4 years. Do you feel like as a squad, as a coaching unit, that you've done everything you can do, ticked off every box along the way to be ready for this moment tomorrow night?
Well, we'll find out in the result, won't we, really, ultimately. But yeah, listen, it's been an amazing journey. The boys have been incredible, and where we've come from, where they've come from, where we've got to, how we've learned as a group of coaches as well. We've put in some really big performances, and it's moments like tomorrow night that we need to step up and perform again. So we're massively proud of it. It doesn't mean that you're going to win a game, but we know if we put in a performance and what we've achieved over the past sort of 2-3 years, then you give yourself a chance, and ultimately that's what international rugby is about. So it's been a brilliant journey. It's been an amazing journey. So see how long it continues for.
Okay, Reuters at the back.
Yep, thanks. Apologies if I missed this earlier, I was a little late. But obviously a whole lot more on the line tomorrow, but if you win, then that equals the top-tier record for winning streaks. Does that mean anything at all to the group? Does it prove anything, Mike, or any of the players?
To be honest, no. It's never spoken about in our sort of circles, so stuff like that is, it's like world rankings, all that sort of stuff. It doesn't really come into the equation. It's about us and a performance that we need to be proud of.
Dan, Caelan touched on all the games and that you've been through, the wins and all that sort of stuff. How valuable do you think the win over England in the Grand Slam decider, with everything that came with it on that day, at home, the history, the crowd, and the fact that you guys had to kind of overcome a fairly anxious first half, how valuable do you think that experience is going to be tomorrow?
Yeah, I think those sort of games where it's win or die, extremely valuable. You got to go out and perform. That probably wasn't our best game at all. We took a good review from that game, and we saw a lot of areas that we could have improved on. But when it comes down to it, you just have to figure out how to win the game. And if tomorrow goes to the end, or we have extra time or anything, you got to just make sure that you win the game. And there's obviously a few plans in place to make sure that we don't get to that point, and we hope that we we're in a position that we don't have to scramble or that we perform on the day. But I think looking back on those sort of hard times where we didn't perform but then come out on top is valuable. Yeah.
Okay, gentleman over here on the right.
Hi, excuse me. Hi, Don. There's a lot of talk about next moment focus. You scored a try within a couple of minutes of being toppled over an advertising hoarding last week. How is that an example of it, and how easy is it to reset when there's a frustration, but to reset and go again, and I guess exact your retribution that way?
Yeah, it's something we put a lot of focus on. Obviously, don't get thrown over at first, but then.
He was slide with it. It went viral. Got him a few thousand followers. He was buzzing.
Kind of, yeah. But no, we talk about sort of resetting, getting back to neutral a lot. It's been a big part of our squad. When anything happens unexpected, if we score a try, they score a try, making sure that we're straight back in the moment, be present. And we always talk about win the next moment. So that's something that maybe wasn't exactly in that case, but something that we put a massive amount of focus on, because you can let things slip, momentum builds, and then all of a sudden 2-3 tries might slip in. But if we can limit it to just the one mistake and then get back up on top, that's what it's there for.
Okay.
Hi, Caelan. It's knockout rugby now, so every game could be Johnny Sexton's last for Ireland. Can you just tell us a bit about what he's been like behind the scenes at this tournament, and is doing it for Johnny something that you've spoken about as a group?
Yeah, it is. Even last week, building into Scotland, obviously there was a chance that could be his last ever game. He said that to us as a group, and what an unbelievable player and leader he's been for Ireland for so many years. I think all the players will agree that the standards he sets raise everyone else's game, and he's almost like having another coach on the pitch. He seems to have I think I've said this to you guys before, but like a bird's eye view. He seems to see everything regardless of where you were, and catches any mistake. You can't get away with anything with him around, which is obviously a good thing for the most part, except when he's shouting at you for those few seconds. But yeah, he definitely brings us to another level, I think. So valuable for the younger guys, for the two of us coming in, the way he prepares for a game. He absolutely loves the game and puts everything into it. It's the utmost professional, and yeah, he's been a great role model for the two of us, I think.
Okay, with two more questions. Miles, you first.
Hi, Mike. Bear with me on this one, but Dan did mention extra time. I wasn't going to ask it, but I will ask it now because it just sort of may be relevant, maybe not. But we've got 10 minutes each way, and then we've got sudden death after that. So there's a lot of water
and
to
then
go.
You've got penalty kicks after
penalties.
that. Yeah.
So there's a lot of water under the bridge to get to penalty kicks. I just wonder, though, as part of your planning for every eventuality this week, because there are 5 kickers required, not 3, as in other competitions. I just wonder whether you don't know who's going to be on the field at the end, so there's a lot of caveats, but have you practiced or asked extra players to practice penalty kicks this week?
We have spoken about it. The players know who they are. Andrew Porter, Dan Sheehan, Tygburn. So they've definitely put in an extra couple of hours of their kicking, because they kick every day anyway. But no, I think it's one of those. I think players are aware of it. I mean, like you say, it's a long way to get to that situation. You'd like to think with the golden point now compared to what it was in the past. You had extra time, then golden point, then whereas so you'd like to think in the golden point in 10 minutes one side would take their opportunity and score points. So. But the players who are on the pitch know who they are, and again, fingers crossed we put them through the middle.
Okay, final question in the front here.
Yep. Hi lads, the very best of luck tomorrow. It's been an incredible journey so far. It's been great to watch. Just one for both Dan and Caelan, if that's okay. What does it mean to both you, your families, to be preparing for potentially your biggest game of your careers against the All Blacks, and to be able to embrace it and enjoy it? Because I'm sure growing up this is stuff that you only wished you could do.
Yeah, I think growing up you want to be in these big games. As someone said, Ireland hasn't been past these sort of stages, so that's obviously a big motivation to get one up. But we said at the start of the competition when we want to go the whole way. We think we have the squad to do it, and we can't look past tomorrow. But I think the pride of being in this squad, it extends further than me. It goes family, friends, the amount of people I have traveling over every week just to see me for 2 seconds after a game. I know they come over for a bit of a party, but I think it's great to bring a bit of enjoyment, a bit of pride to the Irish people. Something I always think about is how many people it touches back home. It's great, but at the same time, you can't really get lost in it. I have a job to do, and we have to just sort of go out and perform. We can think about it after, but I think that's about it.
Similar for me, I think in these big weeks you draw on some of the emotion and the pride, and talking to a few friends back home in Mayo and seeing how they're behind us and how so many people in the country are behind us, and you can feel that over here. You can definitely get a sense of it. So I think that is a motivation for us, trying to continue to inspire them and do them proud, and knowing that so many are coming over to support us. But sometimes you can sort of almost get too emotional, and then you bring yourself back into process focused, detail focused, going through how we're going to do that, how we're going to make them proud, how we're going to get to the next step. So it's always a balance of both in these big weeks, I think.
Okay, thank you, Ireland. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.